When cops have to arrest their bosses.
Cops have to arrest all different types of people. However, what happens when it's a cop's own boss that he has to put in handcuffs?
There's things that we can do to fix this, buddy.
Here are 4 examples of this incredibly rare situation, starting with the case of Michael Yarbrough. On June 20th, 2023, a Georgia police officer pulled over a Dodge Charger that was going way over the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. However, when he walked up to the window, he got a huge surprise.
Really? Yeah.
The man behind the wheel was chief deputy of the local PD.
His face. What you gotta do? He's like, yep, it was me. Yeah, I did it. What you gonna do? Remember who pays you. That's what it looks like.
Not the person this officer expected to pull over. But in reality, this changes nothing. And the officer asks Yarbrough to give over his license and registration. Something he's not pleased with at all.
Can I see your ID, boss? I know this has got to be just like the craziest shit ever for this cop. You answer to me now. How does it feel? Feels like shit, doesn't it?
Guess who I just pulled over?
Who?
Yarbrough.
Really?
Yeah, the chief deputy driving a Dodge Charger, a souped-up Dodge Charger belongs to the sheriff's office. I just clocked this at 96 in a 35.
Damn, driving way too fast, deputy. You need to slow your ass down. 96 on a 35. You gotta go to jail. You gotta take your boss to jail. It's over. He's going in. Lock him up.
No reason. He's in an unmarked car. He just got a high horsepower car and decided he wanted to play.
It's your traffic stop. You do what you think you should do. I mean, I'm not telling you one way or the other. You can do a 96 and a 35.
Okay. Well, you know I don't care for him, so I'm gonna ride his.
Bro, this is the best day of his life. You know how many fucking bosses and managers I want to just, time to go to jail. Lock them up. There's many managers that I just hated over the years. Back when I used to serve tables, there's plenty of them. Take them all to jail. Fuck them.
This stop could have gone a totally different way. But it seems like this officer isn't the biggest fan of Yarbrough and decides to issue him a citation for speeding. For some, handing your boss a $500 fine is a dream come true. And it looks like it's the same way for this officer.
Sir, here's your ID back. This is your copy of the citation. If you would sign right here. It's got a court date, time it's must appear. Please slow down and have a safe day.
In Georgia, speeding tickets are priced based on how much you're exceeding the speed limit. For example, if you're over 24 miles an hour over, you're looking at $500 in fines. However, there's an extra super speeder charge you're liable to if you're going as fast as Yarbrough was. But it looks like this officer decided to mess with his boss even more, as this ticket excluded the extra fee, but instead required him to appear in court. After the incident, Yarbrough was also suspended for 40 hours without pay. However, that's just a fraction of what—
I thought you went to jail if you went too fast. I thought that's just like immediate, jail. Can you go to jail for speeding? Like, say you go 120 miles an hour in a school zone. That's like 25 miles per hour. Can't you go to jail for that? Yeah, so in certain states, you actually can go to jail. In California, of course. California, you can go to fucking jail for anything.
Corporal Scott Bertzik was hit with after crashing his car while drunk.
Reached out for my lighter, slammed into his ass. Cool. No, not really.
Not really.
I thought he said the N-word.
Are you okay?
I was like, what?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Your car's fucked up.
No, absolutely. Which I just fucking fixed.
Obviously, Brooke and Scott are familiar with each other, and curiously, Scott holds nothing back when describing exactly how the incident went down. It's clear that Scott is the one at fault here, so before going any further, Brooke decides to call back to the base to ask whether or not it's okay for her to be handling this incident.
This crash, Birdie, so come work it? Okay. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've worked a crash with one of us in it, so... No, he's not on duty. He's in his POV. I just didn't want there to be any, conflict of interest type issues. Alright, that was it. I just want to make sure. Yeah, bye. Dang it, Birdie.
Brooke is given the go-ahead and told that there should be no issues with her handling this case, but that was before she noticed this.
You good?
Wait.
Huh?
Wait on his way.
He's not coming. Good?
Walking home, but yep, I'm good.
So, Birdie, you giving me some indicators?
Oh.
Listen.
Good woman.
Listen. Valdez is coming out just to I'm not gonna lie to you about it.
She's on her way?
Yeah, she's on her way. I'm not really comfortable with this whole thing at all, but I'm not gonna lie to you about it.
Oh, no. I don't mean to put you in that Indy.
Now on, you know how it goes. You can't consume anything, okay? Because right now you're being detained.
Wait, what?
It's obvious that Scott is under the influence of something. Judging by his slurred speech, slowed reactions, and slight loss of motor control, Brooke is fairly sure he's been drinking. At this point, Scott is no longer her supervisor. He's just a suspect in a case, and what's more, he's drunk and likely unpredictable, a combination which can be incredibly threatening to a female officer.
Please don't make my life difficult.
I would never do that to you.
Okay, I'm very
I
uncomfortable.
would never do that to you. Shit, bro. How much have you had to drink? Damn. Deputy? Or I don't know what the hell he is, but he's up there somewhere.
And I apologize for putting you in that position. Are you on?
Yes, I am. And I'm going to remain on for integrity. You know you can't.
Yo, he couldn't have gotten a better car? He's the boss driving this shit? Yo, they need to give you some more money. Well, maybe this is why you don't make more money. You got like a fucking 1990s Honda. What is that? Well, the last guy had a Challenger.
Smoke right now.
What?
Because if I'm going to do a DUI investigation, it impedes it, so you can't consume anything.
And he probably knows that.
This is a really cute dog.
Fear aggression issue.
You can always train a dog. You can't consume anything. You're killing me.
Trying.
What's too late now?
Let's go.
After a short wait, another officer arrives at the scene, meaning they can finally start getting to the bottom of all of this with some sobriety tests. These lasted.
This is the most awkward shit for this woman because I think like she's actually like okay with him. Like she doesn't hate him, but it's like she doesn't want to do this, but he's making her job so much more difficult. He's like, I'm gonna smoke this cigarette. She ain't gonna do shit. Brother.
Minutes, but it's not hard to tell how they went by just looking at a few seconds of them.
You may begin the test.
1, 2,
Drunk and counting.
3.
Judging by this and the overwhelming amounts of evidence against him at this point, the officers thought it was safe to conclude that Scott had been drinking that night and decided it was time to put him in cuffs. Something he was far from happy about.
There's things that we can do to fix this, but
It's got the hinge locks.
okay. Good to go.
Despite Scott being one of the most polite and respectful suspects ever on this channel, he was actually hit with a better sentence than the majority of criminal cops. After blowing a .156 back at the station, he was charged with driving under the influence and damaging property. He was ordered to pay just under $1,000 in fines, serve 50 hours of community service, and take multiple substance abuse and DUI classes, and had his driver's license suspended for 6 months. He was also sued by the driver of the vehicle he hit, and a cash settlement was reached. And on top of all of that, he also was suspended without pay for a week and given a last chance agreement, meaning one more slip up and he was out for good. Realistically, that's exactly how one of these cases should be handled. But when New Mexico police were put in the same position, they instead showed just how corrupt America's cops can be.
I'm not going to arrest you tonight. Pat Annie, I just say don't drive.
This cop pulled over a truck in Lordsburg after suspecting the driver may have been drinking. However, after walking up to the window, he was hit with a wave of shock and disappointment.
Hello. The reason I pulled you over because you were kind of swerving back there. You're good?
The driver was the city's mayor, and this was the 3rd time she's been pulled over for this exact offense. And what's worse, she was driving like this with her foster child in the car.
Bruh, it's one thing to put yourself in danger and everybody else, but also your kids? You know, this is crazy. My uncle told me something about this. My uncle was a sergeant major for many years, right? And he was also in law enforcement. So he told me that this happens quite often where like if a cop pulls over another cop, it's like a slap on the wrist. Ridiculous, right? So yeah, this is not anything new.
Insurance, please. You okay, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're okay. vehicle. Just be quiet.
The cops are now in an extremely awkward position, but after a short chat, they decide that they should proceed with the stop normally and do their jobs, at least for now.
Hey, Glenda, you might step in another vehicle over if you pick her up on my unit real quick? How much have you had?
3 or 4?
3 or 4? Okay.
As Glenda exited the vehicle, both of the officers noticed a strong smell of alcohol on her, and she quickly admitted to having a few drinks that night. Her slow speech and movement implies that she's definitely over the legal limit to drive, but this is the 3rd time she's been pulled over for driving drunk. Will this really be the time she's punished for it? This officer certainly thinks there's a chance.
Please, let me just get him home.
Get who?
Ethan.
You know I'm the type of cop who doesn't give breaks, okay?
You're the type of cop that what?
That doesn't give breaks. When I approached the vehicle, I did notice an odor of alcohol coming from alcohol coming from inside the vehicle. When I observed you walk out, you were kind of swerving all over the place. I'm your employee.
It doesn't matter.
I'm your employee. And now that you're standing downwind, I can smell it. Okay?
Well, I'm not denying it.
Yeah, we could smell it on you, and the way you got out of your vehicle, Glenda, it's not good.
As the officer said, Glenda is their boss, a conflict of interest here, so they call up New Mexico State Police to handle it from here. But when the original cops learn of the outcome, they realize they probably could have done a better job themselves.
So you're right there at that point. I don't think you're quite over the limit off of the clues that I saw, but I think you're right close to it. Where the limit might be 0.08, I think you're about a 0.06.
My house is literally right around the corner.
I'm not going to arrest you tonight. Okay?
What? Hello? Oh no, Jesus Christ! This is not a good look. You guys are on body cam. You're not gonna arrest her. She's drunk.
But if you've had any, I just say don't drive.
Somehow, despite all the clues that the first 2 officers picked up, the state cops decided she wasn't over the limit when they arrived and was therefore free to drive. Now, there's obviously the debate of corruption here, given that she's the mayor, but let's take his word as fact for now. The cop decided he thinks Glenda is at a 0.06 right now.
Hello? They have a fucking breathalyzer for a reason. What do you mean think? I think she's at it. What? No thinking involved, it'll tell you.
After the initial stop was made, taking into account that your blood alcohol level drops at a rate of around 0.015 an hour, Glenda was getting extremely close to the coveted 0.08 she'd be charged for. You may also be wondering why the cops didn't just use a breathalyzer to test her blood alcohol level immediately. The answer there lies in the 4th Amendment. Cops have to provide probable cause that a driver is impaired before they're allowed to collect chemical evidence that proves this. That's what the sobriety tests are for. The combination of these 2 problems is what led to Glenda going home that night instead of to jail, why this is her 3rd time being pulled over for this, and why it probably won't be her last. But unfortunately for this next boss, his employee wasn't so kind when it came to his DUI stop.
Stay in your vehicle. Get back in your car.
I'm
drunk?
No, I'm the captain.
Huh? A what?
Captain.
Of what? Don't reach in your pocket. Get back in your car. Have a seat.
I will. I'm not.
You been drinking?
Why does he look like he just saw a fucking ghost? Your eyes are wide. Oh my God. Have you been drinking tonight? I think the answer is a hell yes, brother.
I just got a ride.
You been drinking tonight, sir?
I'm a captain on the police department.
And?
What police department?
Oklahoma City.
Oh
no. What division?
Investigations.
How much we had to drink tonight, sir?
No, don't turn the camera off. I want to see this shit, Captain. I want to see every bit of this. Like I said, I've always been a fan of the police department. We need police. I would say at least 80 to 90% of them are actually doing their job correctly. I've watched a lot of body cam videos. I don't care how you feel about the police officers. I mean, I've watched a bunch. My uncle was a police officer and in the military. I've heard stories. The majority of cops are good cops and they do what they need to fucking do. All right. Yes, there are going to be some corrupt ones for sure, but the majority of them are good cops.
Please.
Huh? I'm not turning my camera off.
Okay.
This guy isn't just drunk. He's absolutely hammered, even to the point where he thinks the camera can't hear him whispering.
Turn the camera off!
Sir,
turn it off, please! We can hear you still.
Refuses to turn off his camera.
Don't lock me up.
And continues with the investigation.
Go ahead and step out of the vehicle. You gotta be kidding me. How much we drink tonight, sir?
I was at a poker game.
Because you were swerving all over when you turn off or you didn't use your signal.
I'm sorry.
How much you drink at your poker game?
Not much.
Not much? How much is not much?
I don't know.
Beer? Liquor?
Yeah.
How many beers?
3 or 4.
Not much my ass. The biggest lie of the year.
3 or 4? How long ago was that?
It's been going on a while.
How long ago did you drink your last beer, sir?
What time is it now?
It's 0140.
Midnight.
You think you should drive it?
No, but I came from 4 blocks.
Your mom lives here.
I live here.
You live here?
Yes.
Come over to the rear of your vehicle.
Okay.
You got any weapons or anything on you?
I do not, sir.
Those must have been a strong few beers, as not only was he stumbling over his words, but apparently also swerving across both lanes on his way home.
4 beers, he said? 4? They must have been 4 IPAs, tall boys. Honestly, that's a lot of beer. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. If you've ever had a tall boy that's like 10%, you drink 4 of those motherfuckers back to back to back to back, you're gonna be drunk. Unless you're 250 pounds and you've been drinking all your life, you're gonna be drunk. The taste is dog shit, but it'll get you there. And those are usually the beers I like to drink. Well, usually hazy IPAs. I'll go with a hazy IPA. Still, hazy IPAs are still like 7%. And I drink the tall ones because I ain't no bitch.
Told to stand in the open where he's tested on his balance and sobriety.
Hands down by your side, please. Look straight ahead. You see the tip of my pin, sir?
I do.
I want you to follow the tip of my pin without moving your head.
This
okay?
guy's fucked up.
Come over here, it's a little bit more level. I'm going to demonstrate for you first. While I'm demonstrating, I want you to stand with your feet together, hands down by your side, just like this. All right, sir? What's your name?
Matt French.
Matt French. Mr. French, stand just like that for me. When I tell you to begin, okay, I'm just going to demonstrate for you first. I want you to pick a foot of your choosing. It doesn't matter if it's your left or your right foot.
I'm familiar.
And I want you to lift it approximately 6 inches off the ground. And while you look at your toe, I want you to count by 1,000. It's 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, so on and so forth until I tell you to stop. At any point in time you lose your balance or your foot touches the ground, just go ahead and pick your foot back up and continue to count, okay? Do you understand these instructions I've explained to you, Mr. French? You may begin.
Yo, Mr. French sounds like he's speaking French right now. I can't understand a word he's saying.
1,000.
Keep going.
Can you turn that off?
I cannot, sir.
Please.
I know you're aware of our body cam policy. You know I cannot turn off this body cam.
But I'd like to talk to you.
I can't do that, sir.
Please.
Are you going to do the test or not?
Will you please talk to me?
I'll talk to you once we're
done. You can turn it off, you can turn it on.
I can turn it off once I'm done with my investigation, sir.
Okay. I'm a captain on this police department.
I understand that, sir.
I get
and
that.
I am a sergeant on this police officer.
Yo, captain is like one of the highest ranks. I'm pretty sure the captain is like the highest one or one of the highest. So the top leadership of the police department is chief of police, commissioner in some big cities, deputy chief, commander, captain. So he's 4th. He's up there. Then you have lieutenant, sergeant. Yeah, so captain is pretty high. I thought he was the highest, but he's definitely not. Damn, there's a lot of ranks up here. Commander. Just the name commander sounds like that should be number 1.
I know oath to uphold the law. I don't show favoritism to anyone, regardless. I don't care if you're a gangbanger or the president of the United States. If I was to treat you differently than I was to treat like some Southside loco or some pedo, how's that look on me?
Okay, I'm not asking for that.
Because I wouldn't do that for any of them.
Even as the captain begs him to turn his camera off and just talk, the officer stands his ground and states that he has to treat everyone the same or his job and livelihood could be at risk. He's showing a fantastic amount of integrity that unfortunately we don't get to see too often, likely due to people like this trying to pull rank. They then continue with the third and final test, involving simply walking heel to toe for 10 steps.
Alright, anytime you're ready, you may begin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Alright, go ahead and turn around for me. Put your hands behind your back.
Are you gonna arrest me, sir?
Yes, I am.
Can I talk to you?
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back, sir.
Now that the investigation is concluded and the perp is placed under arrest, the officer turns off his camera and returns the captain to the police department. Not only was he suspended from his position as Oklahoma police captain, but he was also hit with the regular punishments for DUI, likely amounting to a small fine and a few months in jail.
Wow, that was one of the best videos I've seen all year. Well, I feel like if you're a captain and you get arrested for a DUI, you shouldn't be captain anymore. You should get demoted. That's a really tough situation right there. My God.